Welcome back, everybody. This is Brothermutant here. Today we're going to continue our quest with Eldritch and our ragtag team of subcasters. Now, it's been a while since we've been recording for this stuff, so I actually had a glitch earlier. So I've already completed this content, and now I'm back to the same exact spot again because the audio file messed up. I don't know why, but the sound wasn't coming through for my actual characters. And while I went far enough to actually get some character interaction and some characters talking, and I wasn't therefore reading the text, there was a whole section of me just being super quiet and nothing playing in the background. So I have to go back and do my best to repeat what I just did. So we'll try our best, but this is where we were at last time. We have a fight over here. We do know that. We've disarmed a bunch of bombs in the area, which is why you see in the map we've uncovered quite a bit. We were, of course, here with the wizard, with the troll, and finding out that the trolls are, for whatever reason, now suddenly immune to fire thanks to that brand that's on them that's magical in nature.
I'll go ahead.
And I'll have my team here together. I have one character that's wounded, so let's actually look at him real quick. He could use a potion. Potion to cure light wounds. One more, please. Okay. I feel better about him being a little more robust. He has his mutagen strength on. He has bark skin. He does not have shield spell on, so we're going to do that right now. That's nice. I'm actually turning down my volume here. Hopefully that doesn't mess with you guys' volume.
And Lindsay was called for.
There we go. Lindsay could heal him with a little bit more, because why not?
Yes.
Now, of course, this is Eldritch right here. It's my main character. But we have buffs on everybody here in the front row with heroism. So that's going to be a thing. But she's not particularly tough yet. She's only rocking a 21 armor class, whereas he's pumping a 28. So you can see why he's going to be the guy that's up front. Of course, we have these wonderful bombs for him that I'm going to autopilot here. Shutting her autopilot off because I'd rather control her instead of having her run into battle. Divine Favor will be something that we can use for Jaethel, but it only lasts a minute, so I don't want to use it yet. And then from there, of course, Lindsay buffs. And of course, we have this one over here. Slide it over. Let's Fascinate. You'll notice there's some changes since we've been on here as well. So, put mirror image over here. She has a coup de grace power, so all their abilities, all these guys do now, which is nice. And if you actually read up on it, it tells you what it does. But it only works for melee apparently, because anyone with a ranged weapon, it's shaded out.
I wrote it like I saw it.
These three frontliners that have melee weapons have the ability to do it. So it must be a melee-based ability. And that's fine. I don't mind it being a melee-based ability. This is if they're incapacitated, for example, with like a sleep spell, you can run over and like hit them with a rock upside the head, and poof, it should kill them. Well, it doesn't really work that way in this one. It's a chance to kill them, but it's just a chance to basically crit as well. So you're definitely going to crit. You possibly will kill them, and if they're immune to crits, you can't do the coup de grace. So that's the thing. There's other changes that we're going to see as we come across some stuff here. I'm actually because I know this fight's pretty nasty, I may actually slap Blur on him now. Because why not? And while she has mage armor on like a doofus, didn't occur to me the fact that she doesn't need mage armor, because she actually has a chain shirt +5, or sorry, +1. I wish +5, +1, and giving her +5 armor. So mage armor is useless for a horror, and that's only really important because the spells listed in here right now, I put it on her before without thinking about it, and this character doesn't have any armor at all because of the way she's built, and therefore she will actually use mage armor on herself. So I could use her mage armor spell slot either to revamp it and put something in more damage, for instance, or just keep it the way it is and just know to use it on her, so that she always has mage armor on, whether it be provided by herself or provided by Bookworm here. So that's the thing. I just need to remind myself this stuff. It's been so long since I've played. And again, I don't want to have people on autopilot right now because of the fight. It's particularly nasty. Except for him, because I know he's going to firebomb. I do know that they're over here and they're particularly nasty. So if I do a really nice web spell first, I usually can catch most of these bastards as they walk through it.
Enemy near.
But this is the guy that's really been my problem. He is the doofus, followed by the alchemist here. So he can just target this guy. Just do it. or this guy, just to start doing AoE damage. I need Eldritch to come over here and not be a doofus. Jaethel, you can come over here as well. Lindsay can start singing a song. I want to get Bookworm up a little closer.
Strike
start doing some damage. Because why not?
A solid plan.
And now I have another problem because of the bandit leader here who's basically going to cast a spell on him to make him a badass. And he is mean. Some of the things that's been helping me has been things like slapping down a grease spell. And that's going a long way for helping me solve a lot of problems. So I want to have her bounce this beam to these guys. That's the arcing, burning arc that bounces through targets. She can do something like, what's her range on that? Hey, he's still far away, so let's not waste that. She's used up, of course, all her force missiles as well. I could do this because she has the ability to shoot through her weapon. So let's actually do that.
Do not hold back.
The alchemist, of course, is buffing up back here, as you can see. He's doing his bomb thing. She's got a job already. Lindsay knows what she's doing, but I'm going to pull her a tiny bit closer in case I need to fire off another spell.
Serves you right.
Just shoot him for now. You, madam, buff up. And you can do bless. So he needs to get
this
that out.
Will hurt.
These guys need to stay. Bandit leader's getting tied up, so that's helping. But I don't know if that's really what I want.
Forwards.
Because I say that because he's particularly nasty. And
A solid plan.
a couple solid whacks and I could be dead with this guy, and he's pretty damn tough, so that's an issue. Lindsay can autopilot her scream, but I want her to do it on this guy. And Bookworm, you have really good magic missile as well. Not as good as mine, but good nonetheless. Why don't you fire that off? And you have that ability as well. Why don't you do that? Do it on autopilot.
Aim carefully.
Okay, you are going to get caught in this web if you're not careful. So let's get a saving throw bonus fired up for yourself. Come over here. Elle seems to be wanting to run into battle. I'm not real sure what that's about. She does not have, or she does have. She's not on here. She is not supposed to have those on. I need to make sure she steps away from that.
Forwards.
And he could
Let's
probably
try this way.
on here. Everybody needs to be wailing on.
This should do it.
If the leader dies, everyone else is going to die. I might have. He dies after 2 Beautiful. Sorry, I'm taking my headphones off periodically to prove to myself that I'm not stupid. Like have the noise reverberate through the speakers themselves too. Alright, but we survived.
Clear.
Actually, it went smoother than the last few times that I've done this. So I'm actually almost not unhappy that the audio didn't work the first time. Annoying in that I have to repeat this. And of course, annoying even further.
Interesting.
Because I know that there's stuff like this trap. Well, fortunately, I discovered it last time too, so I'm not really cheating here. But it's one of those where I feel bad because you guys didn't see the original playthrough. And I actually got an hour plus into it. So, anyway, let's repeat what we did before. Let's see, is F5 a quick save? Yes. I want to have Midnight Bomber. He was the one that disarmed it last time. I'm going to just continue with the same.
A trivial matter.
And that's only because his XP was getting pretty darn close to leveling up anyway, with Jaethel being, I think, the next closest as well. Turns out she does have trap skills. I forgot that she actually had those as well. Probably because I've been including them on everybody.
The path is clear.
It's good cheap XP. This guy was being guarded or killed by the party, so we have all his loot. It includes an amulet as well as a wand of fireball and a piece of this night bracer, shard of the night bracer. A bunch of money besides. So that's pretty nice. We're going to get all the bandit stuff, loot it all, and then I'm going to drop the gear that I don't want, which of course will be the heavy stuff. Now there's going to be, sadly, that's worth some decent money, some changes to the game that I'm just not familiar with. Just stuff that they've updated, the coup de grace being a fine example. Earlier, and the one good thing about this is I actually sold this by mistake, thinking none of my characters would use it because of the limit. No lawful or good characters are allowed to use this shield. So therefore none of my characters were able to, because someone's either lawful or good, or chaotic good. A lot of lawful neutrals and stuff like that. So I forgot my party back home at the other city, or main town. Of course, includes the main characters, the ones we'll do story arcs with. And that includes Harem, the cleric. And he is a chaotic neutral doofus who likes to use a heavy shield, and his heavy shield's normal. This is a +2 and +2 to saving throws. So win-win. And he can use it because he's chaotic neutral. Totally forgot. So I will not sell it this time, at least, and therefore I'll have that. You notice I have the Belt of Mighty Constitution. I decided that Lindsay, she always seems to want to come with me anyway. I'd rather have her have higher fortitude as well as extra hit points. She's always with me, whereas this character, she may be always with me, but she's going to be one of those where she's going to stay in the back. She's an Eldritch Scoundrel, therefore she's a sneak thief capable of doing sneak attack damage with her bows at distance, so she wants to be safe. Notice that we have a natural armor amulet +2. Put that on my character for the bonus. You see again, 21 goes to 23. That's very nice. Now, while doing this, of course, I realized that he had a +1 on, and he doesn't really need it. And I say that because when he uses his mutagen, he already gets a natural armor buff. So you can see the 28 still there. Slide it back on, doesn't change. Now, of course, when he's not using the mutagen, obviously he would have problems. But if he's having issues, I don't worry too much about it because it's only a +1. Lindsay certainly could use it to getting her into a nice, healthy armor class. And 20 is nothing really to write home about, but it's definitely better than what she was rocking a minute ago. Now, she's doing okay with her dodge or ranged attacks, so that's not included in here. You don't really see that. But obviously when ranged attacks come her way, she'll actually get that +2. So that'll be helpful. But she's still particularly weak. One of my more interesting characters, of course, as she is a scroll savant, and therefore when she finally gets to level 10, all these awesome scrolls that I'm stockpiling will allow me to use her to cast the scrolls at full effect, or at least the full effect of her scroll savant levels. So, for example, this fireball is limited right now to cast at level 5. She'd be able to cast it at level 10 because she'd be a level 10 scroll savant. And of course, if she goes higher than that, which of course she will. So she'll be able to use a lot of these scrolls for really good use. And that even includes other ones, like she has enough to use magic device. So long as she can use the scroll, she gets to use the full effect. So again, she could be our healer, so to speak. All I just have to do is stockpile a crap ton of scrolls, and that will do so. So we've got all that. Oop, I'm standing right on. Oh, that's the pile of stuff. Is there anything else? I feel like I'm missing something. Aha, here we go. Yeah, I'll do that up there.
I'll go ahead.
I think there's some syrup around here somewhere too. There it is. Sweet syrup. Collect. Now, I defeated them, stole all their gear, dropped everything in a nice neat pile. This was the guy we talked to, Wayne, way back when, but we don't have to talk to him again. Didn't have anything to do in there. We have other quests still to do. I'm real worried about my duration of quests. I want to make sure I don't forget that. Now, I only have like 14 days-ish before the first curse. And I think don't know this for a fact, but I believe you have to resolve it before it goes to 0. So that's an issue for us right now. So if you go to J for journal, you'll see that I have 14 days and 4 hours for the ancient curse. That's why I need to get to that hilltop. But notice already it's giving me the option. The time has come. Go to the hilltop and do your thing. And I don't want to just yet because there's still other stuff for us to do. We have a bandit camp for 1. I didn't even remember that. Maybe that's something that hit me this time and not the last time. That's cool. But I went back to base, so we'll do the same. We've clearly hurt ourselves, so I got new events. Increase the rank of any burning stat. Point 1 of the advisors for treasurer. Fine. Let's go to here first. I'm going to do things in slightly reverse order. And I'm going to rest, because I did do that last time. First though, before I do that, I do want to go to books, because she is missing 2 spells for some reason. Now remember, she can sneak attack so long as it's a hit check, which means it has to be a roll. So Scorching Ray would work, Acid Arrow works. And why would I pick Acid Arrow when Scorching Ray is better? Because the trolls we've been fighting, remember, are immune to fire damage, not acid damage. And her ability to then do a sneak attack damage with Acid Arrow could be really useful. I can increase her sneak attack with Sense Vitals. It doesn't last very long, but it's nice. Blur could be useful, but Protection from Arrows is a very long buff, and that could be really useful early on. As far as everything else, I think everybody has the spells that I want them to have. Remember, I could get rid of Mage Armor, but she has 1 casting, and she has 1 casting. Between the 2, she's covered twice, and that's my logic behind that. Lindsay and Jathal, as well as, of course, the main character, Eldritch, are all spontaneous casters, so I don't have to pick or choose anything. They're just there. His, I do have to pick. He lost 1, and I think that's because he chugged his potion and his intelligence dips. So it caused him to lose that spell slot. So that's always going to get deleted every time he chugs his mutagen. It's only a once per day use, but know that, and know, for instance, Barkskin, it's a nice long-ish buff. I could use that first, then chug the mutagen, so that when this deletes itself, I've already gotten the use of the Barkskin. That's my rationale behind it. That doesn't mean I have to do that. I think he even has a armor or whatever that allows him to cast Barkskin, so I don't really need to do that. But we will see if that is really true. I'm going to continue on, though. The reason we're doing this in reverse order, last time I went to base, and then I went to this spot, thinking this is where we use the feather tokens. It is not, it turns out. Now, the question is, will the same event be here? Let's find out. Yep. Okay, good. So this was what happened last time. So it's going to be again in reverse order. So we have kobolds to fight, and these Jubilost and his guards are trying to protect the cart from these jackasses, and there's going to be even more that come in. Now, I was able to autopilot this and just, throw bombs, have fun, and just literally watch them just go to town beating the shit out of stuff. So that worked out well. But did I not rest or something? I don't think I rested. Oh, you idiot. Well, let's hope for the best. She has this ability at least. Fire this back here so it bounces through multiples. Hopefully. And these guys are allies. This guy can cut off of that for now. He's got a strong enough swing. Yeah, here's the other ones that come in. And our old buddy Tartuk shows up. And he goes through his speeches. We'll just let him talk. Basically, he's claiming himself as King Tartuk. And Jubilost here is kind of pissed off about all this. Asks for our help. He basically buffs his team. And we go in to kick their ass. So...
Enemy approaching.
Any last wishes?
Calm down. This was not part of the plan.
Come on, guys.
I learned. body holds no more. This can't be over.
Just peppering the shit out. There we go. That was helpful.
This
Get
is
over
where
here,
I
do some
step
shit.
in.
I require healing.
It'd been nicer if I would have rested up and had all my spells and powers back.
Serves you
Come on,
right.
guys. Man, that was painful. Yeah, piss off. He disappears, and then we can get to everyone resing themselves back up as long as they didn't die. Official. And Narthropple asks us for help with the cart.
The path is clear.
So no one died, so that's, I guess, good news. This cart is sinking, and if we literally click on the cart, we can do a variety of things. Tie a rope to the cart, we can use a crowbar, which is what I did last time, and that helped a little. But, you know, so we can leave the cart alone and get some help. So I found last time, there's some ponies over here that ran away. Couldn't do anything with the ponies, and I'm wondering if it's because I didn't have a rope anymore. So I used a rope earlier. So we get the ponies. Calm them down. That worked too. Okay, so that's good. The ponies are by the cart. But we couldn't, again, do anything with the damn ponies, which was really highly annoying. Okay, so again, crowbar. Says it right here. Set under the wheel, the crowbar wedge into position against the stones on the riverbed, making the process of pulling the cart out of the river easier. I don't know what this did for me officially, but since I did it last time and we lost the crowbar last time too, I wanted to continue with the same. I also tied a rope to the cart. Now I was hoping that the horses would do something. But we used the ropes to pull on them, and again, it didn't do us any good or change anything as far as I know. Now we can choose a character to jump on this cart. I did this last time, and I did Lindsay because she had the best mobility and nature combo. He was my next best guess on this one, but I still picked her, and we succeeded in the first check and failed in the second, so let's see how we do this time. Yeah, same thing. No idea what that lore check was, but yeah, we screwed up bad on that one. But we did succeed in this part, so it did help a little. Then we left the cart alone, because I wanted to make sure he could buff up with his mutagen, which sadly I could not do now because I didn't rest. So we're going to gather our strength, pull the cart out, and this is the thing that I came across too. All the checks are for my character, it appears. So, do you have a good nature check? Do you have good intelligence? Do you have high strength? You know, she's okay for a lot of these things, but this would be literally a 13 roll, an 11, this would be a 12, this would be a 19, but my charisma, fortunately, is nice, so this is actually a 10. So 10 or higher, and I think, if I understand this right, that I'll succeed. And I did it last time, so let's hope for the best. Yes! So, we saved everything, and we leveled up Jaethal at least. So let's actually take care of that now, because she's hurting bad, and she's a level 4 Inquisitor, which will be nice, because I'll give her another set of spells. Judgment, another judgment for the day, very nice. Now the question was where to put her ability increase. Now I've been thinking, do I want to go strength, because she's a strongish character anyway. Dex is useful, but not so much. She's going to be wearing armor. Intelligence is always useful, but she's a wisdom-based character. And then I remember that she gets her hit points, I believe, from charisma. So the higher her charisma, the higher her hit points. It serves as her constitution, since she doesn't have any, if I remember that correctly. So I was tempted to do charisma, but instead I erred on the side of caution and went with wisdom. And I say that because even though 16 is as high as I need her to be able to cast all the spells that she has. Oh, this is nice. I didn't know that they had this listed. So we can get an idea on who, you know, if someone's better on the team, so to speak. So that's cool. Anyway, the point is 16 is enough to cast the spells that she'll need to cast, but the more she has, the more she'll gain access to as far as how many castings per day. Now, of course, that won't do good at 17, and we need to be 18, 20, even number ends, because that has to do with the modifier here. But at the very least, moving in the right direction. And that gives her really good stats for these ones down here. Notice the bumps are coming from wisdom. So getting that up higher means these will go higher. So we definitely want her to be good in perception. Keep going with trickery, I'm okay with that. And we have 3 more to spend, and she's strong, so athletics is a good choice. And it wouldn't hurt to do something else for wisdom. So lore nature. Is there a way to see what everybody else has? Kind of hoping that it would show us who has skills in these ones, but apparently we don't have that. She is the religious character-ish as far as the party that we have right now. So I'm okay with that. Oop, damn it. Here we go. So yes, we can see that Bookworm's doing good for this one too, but only at a +5, where she's rocking a 9. So I'm thinking that that's what that is the total. So if the total is correct here, she is the best at lore religion now. Let's see what this one says. Yeah. She's Midnight Bomber's better at lore nature. So he must be investing in that. That's actually kind of a nice feature. So at least for the party that you have with you, you get an idea. Oh, gee, who was it that was going to get this skill? Who was going to get that skill? And if I go to trickery here, you can see that we have quite a bit of trickery across the team. Matilda has the best one. Midnight Bomber's shortly behind. She's doing pretty good at a +9. Lindsay's at a +9, and she gets better when she casts her little spell on herself anyway. Even Eldritch has enough in there to make a good showing of picking a lock or disarming a trap. And the reason for that is so when I can get those cheap XP boosts, that's what I'm using these for. So everyone's got at least a little bit in trickery. And that's okay that she's not the best at it. I could even take one away from it and not feel horrible and get one into here. And again, Lindsay's doing good for athletics because she gets a bonus for being I was going to say a monk, for being a halfling. She gets an athletics increase simply for being a halfling, so that's nice, because she didn't have piss off for strength. But it'd be nice to have another character that has good athletics as well. So let's make sure hers is up a little bit. I'm cool with that. Spell picks. Now, another thing they've added is the ability to see who has access to the spell. Not even on your party. This is the people back home. So you see how Harem and Tristan can cast this spell? They don't mean they have it slotted. It means it's part of their spell book. Remember, these guys don't have spontaneous casting, but they get all spells open to them once they get to that level. So these guys have access to that one here, this one. No one has Castigate, so that's a thing right now. Cure Moderate Wounds available to all these guys again. She can heal herself, remember, with Inflict Moderate Wounds. So let's give her that, because she will need that. And then from there, for their second pick, Resist Energy is nice, but Bookworm has access to it too. Lesser Restoration, I have that free on my character for being Ashimer. Invisibility could be useful, but again, we have that on other people. They have the ability to cast in their books, and invisibility is not as good as Superior Invisibility, where the hell it's called, where they literally can walk around while invisible and still attack, because you get all that sneak attack wonderfulness. But she does have another ability in here that is pretty damn useful, Bone Shaker. And yes, I know Harem and Tristan have access to it, but they're not on the party normally. And this is an auto-hit move, kind of like it, and it scales well too, so it's one of those where it goes up based on her caster level. So 3d6 plus another 1d6 for every 2 caster levels. It goes up and up and up, and before you know it, this auto-hit move, instead of doing 5d6, can rapidly do 10d6 worth of damage. So that's kind of nice. So we're going to do that. And that's that. And again, another judgment per day. So that's going to turn into handy. Now, I have looting to do. So of course, we want to do that first. I'm going to collect all. And we'll just drop everything in a pile. These guys really took us for a ride. Oh, and I want to drop gear that I know is crappy. And it's heavy and it's not worth much. And I believe, yeah, they took out the old press spacebar to just keep clicking. It's a damn shame, because that was actually very useful for dropping this gear. If you guys know of another trick that I don't, because again, I'm not savvy with all the new tricks. If there's something else that I can do, like highlight them all or something and say, no, I don't want those gone, I would love that. Oh, is there anything that we picked up that was pretty good? Masterwork, light crossbow, masterwork. Everybody's got the masterwork. Okay. Yeah. She's got the composite. He's got the badass savage bow. Full plate, and that's worth a pretty penny, so we're taking that with us. These guys are at least worth $1 a piece for every pound, so I'm okay with keeping it until we start getting really encumbered. Okay, so I feel like we got all that. There was something up here that I missed last time. I don't know if I just didn't pick it up, or if I left it for a specific reason. Right here. And that's actually a soot blackened brand. That was actually pretty damn useful because I kind of need those things. That's the there's like a lore speaker back in your main base that if you bring him enough items, he'll tell you the history of what those items mean, and that gives you a big XP boost as well. Let's go talk to Narthropple. This is where again I was very frustrated with the fact that after, because I could hear it while I was recording, and then when I got to the actual recording itself, realized that he wasn't talking at all. So the gnome that stands before you wears dirty, ragged clothes. They used to look stylish and wealthy long ago, but those times are long gone. His black hair is matted, a deep, fresh scratch across his cheek. Despite of this rather pathetic look, the gnome behaves with inner dignity and even manages to maintain a superior manner.
Jubilos Narthropple, at your grace's service. Your help with these kobolds and my almost drowned cart was timely indeed.
Indeed.
By the way, it's a shame no one organized a greeting party when such a famous and popular person as myself arrived to your capital. I wasn't expecting a red carpet covered with rose petals, but you could at least have sent ahead some delegation. Oh, at least some of my servants are still alive. Do you know how much it costs to train a proper servant?
I'm afraid I don't, buddy. Sorry. Jubilos jabbers too fast, never stopping even to take a breath. You can see he's piled up some emotions and just needs to get them out of his system.
Also, while I'm on that, I'd like to make an official announcement. The roads in your barony are in terrible condition. People must search for wading fords to cross the rivers because no one had bothered themselves with building bridges, and honest travelers have to take the risk of being attacked by kobolds at any moment. So, what did you say your barony was called? Well, whatever, never mind. When I draw the map of these lands, I will call them Maybe Local Baroness Will Help. I guess it's a fitting name.
He's a peach, isn't he, folks? The gnome falls silent at last. He just watches you with his shifty eyes, opening and closing his mouth as if he wants to say something more, but hasn't come up with anything yet. How do you know I am the Baroness?
I've already told you I visited your capital some time ago. Weren't you listening to me? And I'm used to being greeted by officials when I arrive to settlements of at least some importance. The glory of myself and my exploits usually precedes me, and officials usually prefer to be on good terms with me.
Jubilos smiles slyly. I didn't know you'd come.
Yes, you're right. I should have remembered that your lands are in the middle of nowhere, and you don't get updates on important things in time.
Now, we'd be pissy with the guy, but he's going to be a friend, so let's not. So what happened here? How did your cart end up in the river?
My party and I set up camp at the bank of this river. We'd just finished kindling the fire when that purple bastard appeared. You know what he told me? He introduced himself as the King of the Kobolds and told me he needed our clothes because he wanted to dress his subjects properly, you see, as long as they've established the kingdom of their own. That's literally what he said. I wonder, where did he learn the words? Obviously, I told him to buzz off. Some kobold wants to strut around wearing the clothes of the great cartographer Jubilos Narthropple. No way. So I've been explaining my position to him, being rather eloquent too, suggesting he and his so-called kingdom might as well fall into the deepest sinkhole. And in the meantime, I've noticed that kobolds have already started to untie my cart. Well, I called my men to keep the cart safe. They couldn't guess what to do on their own, just stood there with their mouths ajar. Then things heated up as the fighting started, and while we were fighting, the ponies dragged the cart to the river. Ah, stupid animals.
You said you were famous, but I don't know you. What are you famous for?
That was either a stupid and offensive joke or a case of total ignorance. The latter, I hope. I'm famous as a traveler, a cartographer, an alchemist, and a journalist. The students of all the major universities study the world using my maps. My articles for different journals are well known everywhere, from Andorran to Brevoy. You've definitely read some issues of National Alchemy, haven't you?
But of course.
Culinary Almanac of the Inner Sea?
Yeah, I think I remember that one.
Or the most scandalous one, the Independence, describing benefits and drawbacks of governments and regimes in different states.
And this is probably your first clue that he's actually going to be part of your team, because he's actually particularly helpful when it comes to dealing with other governments.
Didn't read any of these. Oh, well, don't answer that. I don't want to spoil my impression of your barony. It's spoiled enough already. It would be hard for me to write at least something positive otherwise.
Wait, the Jubilos Narthropple? Author of the 14.5 eulogies to Pitax? Oh my, every student in the Academy of Grand Arts devoured your books, especially after King Aravetti banned them, tried you in absentia, and sentenced you to death.
Sounds like a peach. Sounds like she's a fan.
I see at least someone in this shabby barony has at least a rudimentary education, even if they got them in such a dubious establishment as the Pitax Academy of Grand Arts.
I was expelled for irreverence.
Ha! Is this so? Well, if it is true, then you just might not be beyond hope.
Okay, so what is such a famous person doing that far from civilization?
I pursue two objectives. The first is to write an article on this new barony of yours for the Independence. The second is to draw a detailed map of the stolen lands. Before this barony appeared, it had been too dangerous to come here, but now an opportunity has appeared. Thanks to you, I must add. So, as you can see, the freedom of speech sometimes grants positive comments too. Anyway, I'm almost done with this journey. My article is practically ready, so is the map. All that's left to do now is to find an old dwarven outpost established here several centuries ago.
Old dwarven outpost, you say? Well, that's information I need. What is this dwarven outpost you're searching for?
Your ignorance is stunning. You create a barony, and still you know nothing about the lands you own. I'll have to enlighten you on the subject.
Okay, please do.
You see, long ago there was a dwarven trade route crossing these lands. It connected Five Kings Mountains and the north. The route was so important to the dwarves that they were generous enough to set a number of outposts along it, manned with armed guardians to provide protection for the traders.
Now remember, we have that big dwarven tower of Torag, I believe, that we stumbled across. Now that's not the outpost, clearly, but we have found that, so we do know it's in this area. So that's good information.
One of these outposts must be somewhere nearby, lost and completely forsaken. But nothing can avoid the watchful eye of the great cartographer Jubilos Narthropple. I will find this outpost, and I will mark its location on the map. You can trust me on that.
Tell me, is this old dwarven outpost abandoned? Is it possible it's now used by trolls as a lair, for instance? Remember, we're looking for a troll lair, by the way.
Why not? Dwarves like being underground. Trolls like being underground, too. It's quite possible, after dwarves left, their warm and cozy place fell into the hands of less attractive creatures.
I'm looking for the troll's lair. Maybe we're looking for the same place. Let's join our efforts and start looking together.
Well, you proved to be a capable companion in a case of emergency. I guess I can entrust you with covering my back. Let's go. I will send someone for my cart later.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, so now we have to swap someone out. Well, since we're wounded, I'm going to swap out him, and I hope that that doesn't delete him, so we'll find that out later. He's got a lot of good gear, too. That would really piss me off. But I want someone that's healthy, because I'm wounded like crazy right now, and there was other bad guys in this area, at least there was before. I fought them last time.
The path is clear.
Before fixing and saving his cart. While looking for those horses, which I didn't know that the horses were in the area, I went up here, and this was his encampment. It was overrun with other kobolds. We took them out easily, but then again, remember, my characters were healed and they didn't die in that first fight. So let's hope that we don't have that same issue here. I'm going to swap these guys out like I had before. And I'm going to take a look at Narthropple for his abilities. And I'm going to delete that. I want to have... Looks like he's got some spells for buffing. Even got himself a heal, which I may actually take him up on. We have, of course, these mutagens. Strength, Dex, Con. Probably would use Dex for him. As a matter of fact, I think I will right now. And his bombs. Oops. Just don't have him there and here. So he has Acid Bomb and Alchemist Bomb, so that's nice, but it doesn't mean that he has the trick where he can't hurt us. So that could be a thing. So we have to be really leery of that. Let's take a look at his character sheet. Abilities. Precise shot, point blank shot, ability focus bombs. Because he's just an alchemist. I don't think he's anything other than that. Oh, he does have precise bomb though. Doesn't affect allies. Awesome. So he has all that stuff. So like I said, I think he is a traditional alchemist, whereas my character is a bombardier. Bombardier, however you say it. So the bombardier has that given to him, I think, free of charge at level 2. So that was nice. He also had another one that he's going to have where he has like a cone attack where he can like imbibe the potion and breathe it out, and it does just a steady amount of just straight up fire damage in the cone from his breath, and that's kind of cool. He gets that for free again as a bombardier. Now he gets other stuff, and as you can see, he's built himself up to be a bomb master, so it looks like he has different kinds, and I'm okay with him having the acid bomb because we are fighting trolls that really don't respond well to fire. Acid bomb could go a long way to solving some of my problems. He's got a lot of other neat things going for him here. I don't particularly care about his gnome, I was going to say genome, gnome magic, because he really doesn't do illusion spells per se. That doesn't mean he won't have any as an alchemist, but I don't think he has many. Illusion resistance, on the other hand, is nice, and of course his defensive training and hatred of the reptilians and giants is going to be extremely useful, and of course his keen senses too. He's got everything built in for being a bomb thrower, so I'm just going to automatically put him on bomb duty. He's buffed himself up with dexterity.
You require my assistance?
How's he rocking for gear? Even has himself in a little enchanted gear, so that's not bad. He's got a 20 armor. He has a heavy crossbow +1. Look at him. So he is built for range, so that makes sense. And I just want to make sure that my characters aren't so weak that they drop from the first shot. And Lindsay, why don't you use a couple
Adventures
of these.
call to them.
Yes.
She's our defunct cleric, so to speak.
Let us bide our
Oh,
time.
and
I
Lindsay
will
was
see us
All
called
the
through.
pilot for
The
stuff
road
that I want them
awaits.
doing crazy things. She's good at range though, and I don't mind her zapping things with like acid splash. She's
I stand ready.
still has spells, so we'll keep her off of anything in particular. But
We should move.
what's the rest of West? We'll get it back from taking a knee. We're going to do that anyway, but see if this fight's up here still. Yeah, so it's still here. Okay, so here's the Boomsayer, Sentinel. Boomsayer was my main problem, quite frankly, last
Unworthy.
time.
And then our
Should have
leader
everybody
charged
wheel on
forward.
that jackass.
Hey, wait for me!
Assist me or lose me. Attack.
You deserved it.
This body holds no more.
Oh, guys, you get this. Nice dropper's taking it on the chin, but he can take it. Last one. Yes. Good work, team. That was rough.
I'll go ahead.
But gear, so now we're gonna be happy about the fact we have gear to pick up and a little bit of information. This was the camp that Narthropple abandoned to save his cart. So they mugged him in this locale, basically, is what I'm gathering. And just pick up. I got another crowbar. Loot. Oh, that could be an. Okay. So if you're repeating this, and you guys are in this spot where you have this, and you don't have a crowbar. Remember, I lost mine, saving it, or using it on the cart. There's a crowbar up here. Just go up and grab it. You have to, survive the flight, of course. But that's not bad. Corpse badly burned with acid and now chemical fire. Looks like Narthropple gave as good as he got from back earlier,
How
I'm assuming.
curious.
Hey, a
Let's-
magic sigh. Can't imagine you get a lot of those in this game. Although I hear they have done quite a few changes. Now, before we leave, let's check on weight again. We're in medium, and I don't think I'm going to drop anything enough to get us under medium. But these ones really aren't worth that much anyways. Let's try to get rid of them. I'm okay with that. You never know when someone's going to become exhausted or something like that, and then our weight suddenly jumps into this category. Yeah, I'm cool with that. And we will take a knee before we get back to base, I got a feeling. Just because I do not want to worry about... Quick F5. I don't want to worry about getting jumped on the way back home. Nothing else left here worth picking up. Not bad. I'm actually kind of happy that we got an Arthropple for that reason alone now, because our Bombardier, he was pretty rough. We'll check him out when we get back to base and swap him back in. We do have the Kingdom. Well, the Kingdom's close by, and we can rest there probably faster and cheaper. Bald Hilltop is ready, but again, we still have days to explore. I don't know, and this is my real concern here, is I don't know that if I do the curse, the Bald Hilltop survive it, that doesn't move us from Chapter 2 into Chapter 3, and that would really suck. So, we didn't explore very much, so I got a feeling that's no. Because I'm fairly certain we can explore all this crap, and of course we haven't done this yet. Haven't done the Hodag Lair. The Bandit Camp just showed up as far as I know. I don't know how much more of this we can explore. Well, certainly there's probably stuff up here still to do, and I know that I've talked to our alchemist in training or whatever up here in Oleg's, Boken, and he needs something. But let's enter Magusdale. This is new, by the way, too. I don't think we had the choices of going specifically to a place like the throne room versus the main square. Let's go to the throne room first. Make sure there's not something we need to do. We can sell off items to this one soothsayer. And go from there. But I got a feeling we have a quest. Everything else wrong. Something here, though, lit up, so let's actually talk to them. Okay. This is just telling us again more information about how to make advisors and stuff. Example, I like this. I'm going to read this to you guys. Example, Valerie as a regent population stat is what she's focusing on. Grants a +2 bonus for her high charisma. She's not a charisma-based character, for those of you that forgot. She's the fighter, right? So charisma being high is kind of weird, but she uses it for this particular roll check. The population stat rank is level 1 right now, and it gives therefore a +2 bonus. If Valerie is put in charge of an event, her dice roll would have an overall bonus of +4. So ways to make that higher is increase your population stat rank, and increase the charisma of Valerie, which means give her a piece of gear that buffs her charisma. You know, the tiara of charisma +2 or some shit. So that will help. So that's nice information right there. And it's different for every type of advisor that you have. By the way, now that we have Narthropple, we can put him in here. Before, I put in Bookworm. It's nice that they let us put in a temp character, a mercenary. So that was kind of cool. But Jubilos is clearly better, so I definitely want him in there. And that was something that we needed to do anyway. Our events, we have Tenebrous Dreams. Our recurrent dream has recently been troubling the Baroness's slumbers. She sees valiant heroes entering ancient ruins to descend under the ground, never to return. Their faces show stern resolve, their lips pinched thin, their angry red sun follows the heroes into the darkness, casting its fleeting evening rays upon them. Just before waking, the Baroness hears a faint whisper, "Come to me, hero. I await you here in the Tenebrous depths." And I think this is added, because it wasn't there last time, I think this is added for that DLC that they've given us. This is the one where you go underground and it's just continually, like, you can go farther and farther and farther. It's a never-ending quest, so to speak. And I'm not sure how that one works. That'll be something that we'll do at another time. If you guys are interested, I'm happy to try it out. But I don't think we want to do that during the playthrough. That's one that I think that you want to set up like a team of whatever, you know, party of whatever kind you want, and say, here's my party at bare bones minimum level whatever. Let's go underground and just see how far we can go before we just straight up die. So it's kind of like a challenge, if you will. That's my understanding anyway. But this one here is definitely a problem. Eight-legged plague, and this is the spiders. Notice that we have crisis points now, and I have 5 available. I don't even know what these things are, so this is something new. I'm assuming if I click this, then that checks it and it uses a point. I'm assuming that makes it better. my check better. So notice the DC is 15 right now. I want to put in Harem because he's got the green swatch. I'm assuming that means he's the best candidate. And notice the DC drops. So this is the actual DC now. So we actually have a success chance of 85%. Our DC is a 20-sided die roll plus 6. So we have a really good shot at getting it. It only takes 1 day to complete it as well. And if we get a success or triumph, we get +3 to divine, which is kind of nice that it tells us that it's 2, because I don't think it used to. I want to start that event. There's nothing we can do about this one. It's just info, right? We're not going to skip a day because I don't want to lose time. But I wanted to make sure to put him in charge of that. Also, I want to make sure to give... He's here, so that's good news. Oh, it won't let me use him? Oh, there we go. I wanted to give him this. Yeah. That's a nice little armor increase, as well as a nice increase to all of his saves. So that's nice, and I'll sell off that. Now, she has full plate +1, so we don't need this one, so we can probably sell it unless he really needs it. And I don't think so, because his half plate's pretty damn good anyway. So we'll do like so. No one else can really use that full plate. Possibly her. No, she's not heavy armor. Okay. So yeah, no one can really use it. And that's fine. So we'll sell that off. Who needs a... I'd rather she have the masterwork. I'd rather he have the ability to have a masterwork. I'm not saying he will, but he's not rocking any armor right now, as either is she. Remember, these characters can't use armor. She is a wizard. He is a ecclesiastier, which means he has penalties when he wears armor. So these guys get robes and they get bracers of armor class, if I get any. So I'm gonna make sure that I don't sell my lower ones when I get better ones and pass them off to these characters, because I want these guys to level up and I want them to be brought out with me to complete their missions. Matter of fact, she don't need that. That's a magic club. I think I had that so she could have a magic weapon, and now you see I do have one for her. So I can do that. He didn't need anything there. He's good with his masterwork scimitar, and he can enchant it, so I'm okay with that. He can wear armor though, so that's good that he has some armor. She's doing well for herself, so she don't need anything fancy. And I have some fodder stuff to sell. He is rocking some really good gear. Get rid of that one because he's clearly going to use these. Savage bow / troll reaper. He does really good damage with that. And he's reasonably strong when he chugs the potion for strength instead of dex. He does really well for himself, so he's pretty beefy. So he's a pretty good front runner, and his armor class gets pretty damn high too. So we will not be taking Narthropple with us everywhere. But having said that, we're going to rest up here and then see what we can do. And I want to check his spell book, of course, too. She's doing fine. He's got that. He doesn't need a melee weapon by any stretch of the imagination. She's fine. She's fine, and she has a kukri, which I could pass the kukri off to him, because he could benefit from that being magical and the crit range on it being nice. But I don't mind her keeping it. She could use, of course, that, though, and that would be nice. Finesse wielding, agile, basically gives her dexterity for damage on that. Let's actually take a quick gander at that. +3, 2 to 5. +3, 2 to 5. Nothing really changes for her. So, we'll do it like so. Her. She has the Cold Iron Dagger. She likes that because the Cold Iron allows us to do damage to the Fae. And I have, of course, my Agile Rapier +1. Very nice. And a Composite Longbow. Very nice. So I don't need this one. And I don't need the bludgeoning thing either. So I think we have everything we need. So let's go sell. First, let's go talk to him. Our soothsayer guy here, the storyteller.
Tread lightly.
And tell him we have some relics for him. How interesting, may I, your grace? He gently touches items from your pack. touches the Torag's mark. Oh, the symbol of Torag. The children of stone wear such pendants as protective talismans. I will gladly purchase any you have. And he gave us 400 gold for it. And then he does the tokens of the Dryad we had, and gave us 600 gold for the 2 of those, with 300 apiece. It says, what is this? I hear the voices of trees. Smell the scent of fresh leaves. A Dryad mark, is it not? I'd be happy to purchase it from you. Yay. Oh, now there's something truly impressive. These items belong to Dwarven Smith, and they wish to tell us their story. The storyteller shakes that sadly, but too much has been lost, too much forgotten. The story of Smith eludes me. Please find the rest of the 5 missing items and return them to me as soon as you can. Sounds good. What is he talking about? It's gotta be the Black and Brand, perhaps? Let's actually order these things by price. Probably. So we need to store that until we find all the other items. Let's these over here. Cool beans. And we need to we have some stuff here. So we have the blackened apron. I need to get rid of those. I keep the sigh. You know what? No, I'm not. $600 is $600. And then I will sell both those. That's some good money for me. I need enough money to buy it for the next party, rest up here, and I think I need to build something for Bach, which means I probably need to buy BP. I don't have anything else to pass over here except for books, which I think I'm going to do because I don't want to have these heavy-ass books weighing me down. I don't think we use them for anything. Lighting, complete chain, Thousand Revolutions. And one of these books, by the way, is by Narthropple. Where is it? It was. Oh, maybe it's one of these. Here we go. Cooking Almanac of the Inner Sea by Julius Narthrop. See, so he is in the game. Oh, this is pretty damn funny. Bartholomew's Diary. We'll bust that down there. I don't think I need that for anything. Merchant's Letter. I'm going to keep that with me because I may run into somebody that needs that letter. That's the one, the guy that died. And his wife basically got screwed over here. So I'm gonna rearrange this stuff just a smudge. Put stuff where it needs to be in order. Yeah, I got the books, and the books are not lined up. I don't care about that so much. But that's my heavyweight stuff. I get that off me. And now we have 2 ways to get out of here. We can just exit to the town, and we can do this, which goes right to the map, I believe, which is pretty badass that gives us that option. We can even click just exit here. We're going to go to the main square. There's 2 things we need to do here. One, we need to go talk to Cassie. And we haven't done that yet. That's the tiefling. And then we have sell stuff. We're going to sell stuff first. We talk to Cassie, and then probably do a quick save and call it a day. Okay, we have a variety of people we can talk to. I do like the fact, of course, we have our vendor over here for scrolls. So extremely helpful. Zarcy. But Hassoff is the one we sell to, by and large. So we're going to sell off from the stuff that's just junk. I'm going to sell those weapons. I'll keep one composite bow. Never know. We'll get another person on the team where suddenly we need it. I'll get rid of this crap stuff. Those are just regular short bows. Shield, I can get rid of these. Because it's mundane and not even masterwork. We got a nice crowbar again, and we got enough food to feed ourselves for 1 camping completely without having to worry about anything. So that's more of a... I didn't realize I was packing studded leather. We don't have to worry about then camping and hunting if we short on time. So that's the reason for that. But I do want to take some more with me. So on that, let's actually sort by ascending order. We're going to grab 5 more camping supplies so that we have 12. That's 2 days complete camping where I don't have to hunt at all. We can just say, nope, don't have to hunt. Just use rations, and it'll go as fast as possible, and poof, we eat and done. So that'll work for me, and I'm pretty good with that. I do want to go buy some potions.
Let's head out.
One of these guys? Boots of elven kind. Some good gear. We got a little bit. Oh, I forgot to add up. Dumbass I am. I need to buy BP. Let's do that now. I don't want to forget because I want to make that workshop for Bakken. Where's his BP? Name. Village points. I have no idea how many I'll need. Let's start with 50. Okay. These are pricey. This is really annoying. Come on, you bastard. Take it. Let's do 60. Okay, that took quite a bit of our money, but that's okay. And we're going to rest. Until we get their spells back and we get healed up, hopefully. It goes right to the town, or into the castle. So that's good. And we're going to go over here. Lindsay doing her little dance. Alright, I need to build. I don't remember if I know how to do this. Okay, so he's still working on you. Yes. And that's the thing going on right now. So I'm going to click on that, right? And I want to enter. And let's take a look at build. Yeah, I need. Ooh, wow. I'm full up. I can't build anything. Smithy, shop, lumber yard, granary, longhouse, herbalist house, shrine, and a monument. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get another level up before I can make that thing for Bakken, or feel like I have his town up here. Oh, see, so I do have it, as he's building it. Okay, so I don't need the building points. That's okay. So I'm working on his alchemist shop, and I'm working on a dance hall already. Alright. Good deal. I have some build points, but not many, and I bought 60, so I didn't have many to begin with. So I don't think I want to spend a whole lot of anything here. If anything, maybe something 20, just to have it here so I don't forget. But let's look at our settlement stats. Okay, so it looks like we're working on, what is this? Dance hall, loyalty and culture, and economy when adjacent to a tavern or longhouse. So I need a tavern or a longhouse. Tavern's 20. And that would be economy. That'd be some money. Dance hall. Doesn't say it needs anything next to it. So I could put the tavern right here and not feel horrible about that. What goes next to a tavern, though? Plus one relation adjacent to a longhouse. Espionage when adjacent to a barracks. Ooh, I want espionage, so that'd be okay. I could put it here, though, as well. Let's put a tavern. Call that good. Alright, I feel good about that. They take time to build. That's okay. And they build them in order of way you place them, I believe. So one builds, then the next one builds, and then the next one builds. So it's not continuous, I don't think. It's literally one, then the other, then the other. That's alright. Matter of fact, this video's gone on long enough. I'm going to get over to where Cassie is. And before we go inside, we'll call it a day. So let's actually head out of here. Cassie has a home in the main square. I want to grab some potions before I forget. So, who do we get potions from? Who do we get potions from? Oh, it's going to be like the cleric, right? Who's that guy? Christian? Or the other fellow? Over here, right? Tristan. John.
How may I serve you, your
Yeah,
grace?
he's cleric help. Okay. Oh, his scrolls, sorry. And scrolls are fine with me. Price and ascending. I'm going to grab a few inflict. Because I know she can use them. Jaethel. She'll use them to heal herself up. And... Wow. Looks like I bought up all the others. I must have been using the other ones, like, badly. I'm down to 16. But I have 23 of those now, so I'm happy about that. And... yeah, I don't think I want anything else. I do like that it really does have the who can use this, who can cast this is listed. So who already has it on their list. Harriman Tristan can use it. Midnight Bomber, Harriman Tristan have access to it. So it's really nice that they did that, I think. That's a really nice addition. So again, I don't think I need anything else from here. And I'm going to go to the map, where she lives. Into the house. Cassie's house, so this is her house here. Also, just outside here is where we'll stop. And with that, I'll say, my name is Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you guys think. Hopefully you guys do like that I'm starting to play through it again from where we left off. If there's something you'd like to see different or changed, like if you want me to only take out the party that I've specifically chosen for myself, that's great. But I still want to take out some of the people that I know have side quests. Because I know, A, it gives XP, better rewards. For instance, we're looking for them Dwarven Caverns, and I'm fairly certain Harem wants to go with. And probably now Narthropple, too. So I'm going to have to take a party next time that includes both those two. Narthropple I don't mind because he's high enough level. But the Dwarf, I think he's like level 2 or something. So he's pretty low. So we have to figure out who we're swapping out for those two characters to come with. But with that, I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.